Okay, what we're going to do now is add additional filter parameters so that users can select a user by their age, or an age from and an age to. So what we'll do, we'll go back to our user params, and inside here we'll just add a couple of additional properties, and we'll specify an int for the min age, and we'll give this a default value. We know that we're only allowing over 18-year-olds to access our site, so we'll set this to initial value of 18, and we'll set another property for the max age, and we'll set this to, well, this is going to be our default, so we're not going to have any age filtering on by default. So let's imagine that 150 is our default age, and this is obviously effectively going to give us all of our users, and then they can go and define what age range they're looking for. So what we'll do with those two additional properties in place, we'll go to our user repository, and we'll just add some additional parameters inside here to filter by the age of the user. So what we'll do is we'll set a couple of variables in here. We'll say var min dob, and we'll set this equal to date time, and we need to bring this in. So datetime.today, and then we'll say add years, and then we'll minus from this the user params dot max age. And because this is based on today's date, then what we'll do is we'll say -1 so that we give the accurate year. And what we'll do is say max dob, and we'll set this equal to date time today, and we'll say add years, and we'll minus the user params dot min age, and we'll set that as the maximum date of birth. And I'll come back to this just to clarify this because it may not be 100% clear yet. But what we'll do, we'll specify our query equals query dot where, and I'll say u goes to u dot date of birth, and we want to check to see if this is greater than or equal to the min dob, and the u dot date of birth is less than or equal to the max dob. So let's say, for example, a user was looking for someone between 20 and 30. Then the max age here would be 30, and the min age here would be 20. And what we want to do is say, how far do we want to go back? Because a date of birth is a date. So what we do is we minus the number of years in the max age, and in this case it's 30. So we minus that from the number of years from today, and we also minus 1 because if it's today, then they haven't had their birthday yet. And we're not going by times here, so it may be off by a day here and there, but to keep things simple, we're not going to worry about that level of accuracy for an age filter. So what we'll do is we'll say that's the minimum date of birth, and so let's say the minimum age is 20, so we minus that from today's date with the years, and that's going to give us the maximum date of birth we're looking at. And if it's 20 from now, this would mean anyone born in the year 2000 or below. And that's why we're using the less than or greater equal to there. So let's go and make sure this works, and we'll go back to Postman, and we've got a request here to get a list of users with the minimum age of 25, but let's take a look and see what users we're working with first of all. So we'll go back to using the request with no parameters, and we'll click on send, and we can see Todd is 70, Porter is 53, Mayo is 30, Skinner is 67. We've got some older users in this site. Davis is 42, Bob is 35, and Bruce is 18. And well, let's just add above, let's change this to above 40 in this case. And we'll say minimum age 40. And obviously we would expect to see no users younger than 40 in our list. So we can see 53, 67, 42, and if we specify 42 exactly, then our list shouldn't change and we should still see Davis. And if we change this to 43, then Davis should no longer be on this list. And he isn't. And let's take a look at the max age, and let's change this to 60 and click send, see what we get. and we've got Porter who's 53, Mayo 30, all of these should be under the age we're looking for. So let's change it just to make sure we're good, and let's say change it to exactly 53, so the maximum age is 53, so we should still see Porter. So we'll click send, and we do, and if we change it to 52, then we should no longer see Porter in the list, and he's gone. And if we take a look at the next request, we can also join these parameters together. So let's use this one to look for all users in their 20s. We'll click send, and that's just one in this case, Peter. And we can chain on all of these parameters. We can add pagination, we can add the gender, and we can keep chaining on these parameters, and we'll get exactly the results back that we're looking for in that case. So now we've got our age filters as well, and what we'll do is we'll take a look at our client-side application next and implement this functionality in there.